Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. Tough times. Tough times never last, but tough people do. I'm Michael Kazilny, and thank you once again for allowing me into your living room. Hope you had a lovely week. And if you're suffering at the moment or going through some tough life issues, I hope things get much better for you. On the couch tonight, I've got Dan. Dan used to be quite a successful criminal defence lawyer in Victoria. Father's Day 2006, he bought himself a Porsche and had a near fatal accident in Punt Road, Melbourne, Australia. Thanks, Dan, for coming on the show.
Thank you, Michael. You're welcome.
What a journey, Dan, because, bro, I've seen you around the courts for many years.
Yeah, I've seen you.
Because we're both criminal defence lawyers, viewers.
I've seen you too, Michael.
And there tended to be, amongst lawyers, always a bit of tension.
Yeah.
It's almost like the fruit market, you know, who's doing what and who's taking which case. And we were mates.
Yeah, of course,
but
always mates.
Then Dan rang me, a couple of years ago and said, "Look, Michael, let's get together and have a cup of coffee, you know."
Yeah.
But mate, you've changed so much, you know.
Monument,
I've got to say, bro, you're a lot more real, a lot more authentic.
a lot more calmer.
Tell us about those first 10 years as a criminal defence lawyer.
I was very successful at my job. I had lots of clients. I had money, and then I was busy but then one car accident ruined my life.
Because you were a criminal lawyer, bro.
I was, yeah.
You
criminal.
represented some of the finest, even some of the underworld figures, yeah?
A lot of the underworld figures.
A lot of the underworld
Heaps
figures.
of underworld figures.
I hope you didn't get too close to them.
Sort of close. Yeah, they were good people.
Because I remember you used to party quite a bit down Chapel Street,
a lot,
bro,
Yeah, a lot.
There's rumours about this playboy, ladies and gentlemen,
That's
used to wear this Hawaiian shirt and go to all the clubs there with in Chapel Street and had all the women surrounding him.
Correct.
Is that true?
It's true. For some reason, I was very...
Look at me, bro.
For some reason, I was very successful with the girls. I don't know why, but girls used to like me for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that's...
Because you're a lovely young man.
I hope they like me as a person, not my looks. They're very nice people.
And you were a very good lawyer. I saw you on your feet many times at all the different courts.
I was very good lawyer.
You were very fearless.
I was fearless. You
were very genuine.
I was a trooper.
And what he did, folks, he had an unshakable belief in himself. Quite often we go out there and we see people in a lot of fear. You know, they don't quite believe it in themselves. But I used to watch this man up on his feet, and he was very confident, but also very straight down the line, which was great.
I was extremely confident, Michael. I was very devout to my job.
And that's so important, isn't it, to believe in yourself? Because if you aren't your best mate, no one else is going to believe in you. What you believe about yourself, ladies and gentlemen, is what the world's going to believe about you. And you believed in yourself, fighting for the rights of people who have been charged.
Absolutely.
And then tell us about 2006. Where did you get that Porsche from?
Porsche? I bought it from a guy called Pena Aquaro. Pena's a lovely guy. Pena's a lawyer too. He's a lovely guy.
Did you have it for long?
I had it for about 4 or 5 months. Not for that long.
No. What sort of a car was it?
It was a Porsche, in my view, the best shape ever. A Porsche 993. Lovely shape.
Beautiful.
Lovely shape. It was loaded ground, wide body. It was an immaculate car.
God bless you. And it was Father's Day, so it was a happy day. It was a day off. You had your little fella in the car.
My son Marlon with me. Michael, my life was monumentally fantastic. My life was good, so I don't care what happened to me. I'm very happy that my son is fine. I don't care what happened to me. My life was great, Michael. My son's life has not even started, so I'm very upset about what happened to me. But I'm extremely proud of my son being not touched at all.
No, and that's so true of you. He's when I spoke to Dan just before, he said I wouldn't have minded if I passed on.
Yeah.
As long as my little ones are okay.
Of course.
But it was quite a horrific incident. I remember watching the media and shocked disbelief. You know, you see all these people and you'd expect them to always be there. All of a sudden I saw the name Melbourne lawyer and I thought, shit, you know, not another one. I've been to quite a few funerals over the last 2 decades, and it just reminds me, viewers, about the brevity of life, how short this sweet journey really is. We really have to appreciate it every day, don't we?
Of course.
Where were you going to on that?
I was going to St Kilda with my son. I was going to have breakfast with my son, Father's Day breakfast with my son. Well, I didn't make it, Michael. I was dead for 6 weeks.
Dead for 6 weeks. Can you speak up a bit?
I slept for 6 weeks. I didn't wake up for 6 weeks, and I remember. And after I was at the Alfred for 6 weeks. After the Alfred, I went to Ivanhoe for about 8 months.
Yes.
from November to June, and it was like jail. The Ivanhoe was like jail, Michael. It was like jail, badly.
I saw the car. It was extremely bad.
Write-off.
It was a mess. A truck was involved, correct?
No, and my car spun off the road. The road was very oily and it was raining. As I turned the corner onto Pun Road, my car spun. I went on a career on the other side of the road. I hit an oncoming vehicle, and I hit myself here on my head.
Yes.
And
what other injuries?
I'm blind in my left eye, and I've also got a plate on my left cheek. My left side of my face was pushed in, monumentally, and I've got a plate on my left side of my face, and I'm permanently blind on my left side too.
But you've made it through, huh?
Yeah.
And I see you around the courts, bro, and you're smiling, mate.
Yeah,
You're smiling. You know, a lot of people out there, they're not smiling. They're always down.
That's right.
They're always depressed. They're always grumpy, you know. This guy almost passed on and still smiling. That's a beautiful
still
thing,
happy.
isn't it? So we really have to, still happy. And, you know, isn't it amazing how fast life can change? Living in a multi-million-dollar house Bayside, beautiful wife, great, beautiful family. All of a sudden, boom, great job. All of a sudden now in sunshine, we're back with mum and dad.
Yes.
And they're beautiful, aren't they?
Yeah, I love them. I love my parents heaps. I love them so much. And I love my brother too. I've got one brother. He's a brother and a sister to me.
Say hello to your mum and dad.
Hello, Mum. Hello, Dad. Hello, Tony. My brother Tony. And hello, Ned. My friend Ned Vasalja. He's a lovely guy. He's a champion. I love Ned.
And I visited you, Dan, and I could tell the pain mum and dad must have gone through all that time.
Michael,
you know.
My mum says, "I wish it happened to me, Dan. I hope it didn't happen to you. I wish it happened to me." My mum is very worried about me. Yeah. Extremely worried about me. And my dad's worried about me too. Yeah,
and what I also find, viewers, is that people can be quite judgmental, can't they? They expect everybody to be perfect, don't they? They expect to be perfect. Sometimes I'm in the courts and Dan walks in just to have a look, and he talks to people at the counter, but they look at him different just because he acts a bit differently.
That's right.
And I've seen that, but we'll talk about your successful journey after the next break. It's Tough Times, coming back very shortly. Don't go away. And welcome back to the show. Tough times never last, but tough people do. And we hope that we inspire some of the people going through some difficult issues in their lives to just listen to some of our interviews and maybe just get a little bit out of that, just to appreciate life just for what it is, and to realise that life's not always going to be rosy and happy, and you're always going to go through the dark days. But at the end of the day, once we cross that bridge, there's always a rainbow at the end of the journey, isn't it?
There is.
Because
there is.
Because you were so down there for a while. You were in a state of depression afterwards, Dan.
Yeah, I was.
You know?
Michael, I can barely walk now. I walk with a limp. Yeah. And whenever I go to the city, people look at me funny.
Speak a bit louder.
Whenever I go to the CBD, people look at me funny, like I'm crazy.
But you're not, bro. You're not crazy, you know? You're not
just
crazy.
Because of my accident.
But you've given me so much good advice in the last couple of years. Really, really good advice, which I've taken on board. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're a very, very good man. And you loved your years in the criminal law, didn't you?
I loved it heaps. One thing I don't think, Michael, I got a bad brain injury and I got short-term memory. It's not good. Long-term memory is fantastic. One thing I'll never forget is the law. I know the law back very well.
And you were very good at it too, mate.
I was very confident in my job.
And you're still a lawyer. He's done his law degree.
Yeah.
And I think when you look up the definition in the Australian dictionary, lawyer is even a legal clerk, or I think a policeman. But a lawyer's got a very broad definition. Yeah. Just because you're not practicing at the moment, you're still a lawyer, so don't forget that.
Of course, that's right.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm still a member of the Law Institute.
You're still a member of the Law Institute, and I gave you that Law Institute diary today.
Yeah, thank you, Michael.
You can keep in touch with everybody.
Yeah, of course.
But isn't it amazing, Dan, over the years how the courts have changed? Isn't there a great bunch of magistrates?
Extremely great.
You know, I was going to say compared to the 80s when I was a cop, things were a lot different, you know, but I think the Chief Magistrate's done a wonderful job with all the different services, you know, we've got credit programs.
Ian Gray, he's very good.
It's amazing. It's not just all about punishing, lock them all up.
It's reforming. Yeah?
It's reforming, but I think everybody gets a couple of kicks, you know.
Chances.
And then, of course, if people don't take those chances, well, they might as well go on a bit of a holiday to reform.
Michael, as a lawyer, I went to Perth, Brisbane, Sydney, every court in Melbourne. One of the best magistrates ever, the best awesome magistrate, is a monumentally amazing magistrate, Noreen Tui. She gave me amazing results. She's a fantastic person, just a lovely human being. She's, out of all the magistrates, in my view, the best.
You can remember her.
Awesome. I'll never forget that. She gave me some awesome, amazing results. She gave me results, and through those results, I got clients. Continually got clients through those results.
And she was obviously, like a lot of the magistrates there, a very caring, tough, but at the same time,
compassionate,
caring. Because at the end of the day, whatever profession we're in, whether it's law enforcement, police, magistrate, judge, parking officer, taxation office, even when we're charging people or prosecuting people, it can still be done in a respectful way, I suppose, can't it? Because when I was a policeman for 10 years, I worked both at Frankston, St Kilda, I worked on the Gold Coast for a while, and I had some pretty tough punters I had to arrest over the years, but there was still that respect level.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I remember I had a murderer one time who stabbed somebody.
Yes.
Naturally, you feel like punching him out, don't you?
Yes.
I felt like, you feel like grabbing him and stomping his head on the ground, especially when he just killed a 83-year-old grandmother.
What a coward! What a coward!
A coward, but you don't.
He's a coward.
And I think violence is just
one thing I don't do, Michael. As a lawyer, I never looked after sour grapers. Sour grapers are rapers. Never did rapers.
You never look after the rapists?
The sour grapers, never.
No.
Nor the tamperers, never at all.
What type of clients did you represent? Tell us some of the tough ones you
remember. Drug dealers, big drug dealers. I used to look after Morans, all the bad boys.
All the bad boys.
Yeah.
And how do you? I know myself when I've got too close to clients.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's backfired on me. Especially when I've gone around their houses and stuff. And I've learned a lot of lessons. Quite often, that client relationship is very important, isn't it? You've got to keep your distance, don't you?
One thing, Michael, I never did was go visit clients at the house. I used to talk to clients on the streets or in the parks. Never in my office. Never in the house.
No,
because the wall's got ears.
I think you partied with a few, though, didn't you?
Yeah, I did party. I partied a lot.
So you had a good time. You had a lovely time.
Awesome time.
Awesome time.
Michael, my life was amazing. I wouldn't change a thing about my life because I was very famous, very popular with the girls. I had money, clients. I had everything. Everything materialistic. That means bugger all nowadays. I care about nothing about materialistic.
You don't care about that?
No, I like people as human beings.
Authentic, down to earth. Yeah. And I suppose one thing the viewers are sort of thinking, these criminal lawyers, they're smiling assassins, some call them moral prostitutes, but what's your view on that? I mean, especially when you're saying like drug dealers, but we had a good time, but tell me about the, where did that passion come from to find justice for these type of people?
Michael, the way I saw it is if I didn't look after these people, other people would.
Yes.
Other people would. So I might as well. I love the job. Firstly, I love helping people. I love helping people. Secondly, the money was fantastic. But firstly, I love helping people. The money was amazing, but first and foremost, helping people.
So you loved helping people. You loved the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I suppose with good service should come good rewards, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
There's all these people giving good service, but they say 1 in 5 businesses goes broke. So it's there's nothing wrong with making good money.
Yeah, that's right.
I suppose as long as we share that a bit, the law of giving,
Michael,
to be generous.
It's got to be justified. You can't get money for nothing. You got to justify your money. It's got to come for a reason. You can't get it for nothing. It just got to come for a reason.
Yes.
If you help someone, you deserve good money. But if you don't help someone, you don't get good money.
No, that's right. And now, Dan, I suppose since the accident and trying to get back on track,
yes,
money is not that important, is it?
Money comes and goes. It means nothing. It's a nothing. It's a nothing. It's about people, how they feel, how they make you feel.
And Dan's made a very good point there, viewers. We're born with nothing and we die with nothing. So it's really good to reflect sometimes and think about possessions, ego, positions, fame. it's all going to fade one day. You know, we think about these famous people 50 years ago. Nobody even knows about them, or the wealthy people 50 years ago. So life's a fleeting and a beautiful experience.
Yeah, it is.
We'll talk after the break, and we'll talk about the great man.
Sure.
Coming back very shortly on Tough Times. Back to the show. I'm sitting here with Dan, who certainly has received some of the major blows in life, and of course we all go through tough times, don't we? I mean, I know countless people who are going through a separation at the moment, divorces, problems with their teenage children, whether the kids are drug addicts or are suffering from depression, people who've lost businesses, are going through bankruptcy, or people who are in our many hospitals around Australasia suffering from a serious medical illness like cancer. So love and best wishes to everybody who is going through a tough time out there. You know, viewers, I always say to myself, everything that happens in my life happens for my maximum benefit. I sort of wake up every day and think that everything happens in my life, there's something going to be really, really good about it. And when you see life like that every hit and every challenge and every adversity turns out into something really magnificent, then you almost welcome the challenges into your life, don't you, Dan?
You do.
You know?
That you do, Michael.
I knew a guy who lost his leg in a motorbike accident years ago, living down at the Mornington Peninsula, and he had the same attitude. Everything that happens in my life happens for my maximum benefit, he said. You know, he said it's almost like it's designed. They're little lessons from God or the universe or from a higher power, which we need to learn. But in hospital, he had a smile on his face, and he said, I'm going to make the most of this situation. And it's really how somebody perceives their problems, isn't it?
Yes.
Another person might have lost their leg and said, I'm not going to live like this, I'm going to kill myself. You know, whereas he said, I'm going to be an amputee, but maybe speak to some people less fortunate and share my story.
You know, Michael, committing suicide is a coward's way out. You can't commit suicide, you've got to live with what happened to you. Live forward, move forward, live with what you got.
Yeah, did you ever, I mean, everybody would... when they're really, really down, I suppose a lot of people think about that. Did you ever think about it?
Not really.
No.
Be honest, not really.
No, I didn't think you would.
Because I got two kids. I wouldn't die for my kids.
You got two beautiful kids. How old are they?
Marlon's turning 8 on the 30th of April.
Yes.
And Emily turning 4 on the 1st of May.
God bless them.
I love them so much, Michael.
I hope they, because you haven't spoken to them for quite some time.
I haven't seen the kids since 24th July last year.
No.
Because the mother is...
No, we won't talk about the relationship too much.
Not a good person.
No, we won't talk about the relationship because there's a lot of people going through tough times, but there's always two sorts of the story, you know. But that's going to sort itself out. But it would be lovely if your kids contacted you,
Michael,
because I know how tough it could be.
I'm not even allowed to speak to my kids because the mother took out an intervention order against her and the kids. Michael, I don't care about her. I never want to see her ever again, but I want to see my kids ASAP. I love my kids so much.
I know, and we all love our kids, and I can feel for all those fathers out there or mothers who don't see their children. It's very difficult, isn't it? One stage you all living under the same roof, having family holidays together, Christmas, Easter, and then all of a sudden the parents split up, intervention orders, court cases, family lawyers. It's pretty nasty, but these things do happen, and it's part of life. That's why so many family lawyers, there's so many family lawyers out there, isn't it?
There is.
But they charge you for every phone call, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They do.
Huh?
That's one thing I didn't do. I never charge for phone calls. I'm using a family lawyer called Jeremy St. John.
Wouldn't it be nice if family lawyers were a bit more spiritual and try to make people get back together? But I suppose that wouldn't work, would it?
No, I wouldn't, of course.
Huh?
No, of course not.
Dan, the relationship is kaput.
Yeah, it's gone.
Who knows what happened there, but you met another lovely lady.
Yeah, I did. Anne Marie, she's
good
gorgeous.
Girl?
Lovely girl. But she's 10 years old than me, but I care not about the age.
That's all right. What about, what's his name, that, not Clint Eastwood, Clint Eastwood. What about that, the other guy in the paper this week?
Who's that? Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, age difference doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
You know, as long as it, as you've got common interest. Yeah. I think a relationship is a bit like a jigsaw puzzle, isn't it? As long as we've got common interest. I mean, no one's ever going to get on brilliantly 100% of the time. You're always going to have your blues and your disagreements, and that's probably the best time when we get out and get some fresh air or meditate or go for a run or something, huh?
Yeah. Well, one thing, Michael, I've been there for now 6 months. We don't argue at all. She likes me as I am now. I know I've got problems. I know I've got disabilities, but she likes me as I am.
Whereas, of course, I like you the way you are.
Thank you, Michael.
You know, everybody likes you for you are.
You're a lovely guy, Michael.
Yeah, no, that's right. If we can go through life, ladies and gentlemen, every day, and try not to judge people, wow, wouldn't that be nice? Just try to be a little bit more non-judgmental, a bit more love-orientated, greet people with a smile, and just try to build a few people up every day, because there's a lot of people in Australia feeling down, and you know, sometimes a bit of a smile or just showing a bit of special attention makes all that difference, doesn't it?
Exactly, Michael.
Yeah?
Exactly.
It's not that hard, is it?
No, it's right. You've just got to be positive.
You've got to be positive, because at the end of the day, it's not all about us, is it?
Yeah.
You know, it's all about others too. You know, it'd be a very shallow life if we were born, made a shitload of money, became successful, famous, but just for us.
As part of the byproduct, arrogant. Byproduct being arrogant.
And unfortunately, that happens to a lot of people. I've seen that around. A lot of people who have stopped giving back.
Yes.
You know, all of a sudden the attitude changes, and then the universe comes and wipes it all out again.
Yeah. Michael, I love my parents so much, and my brother, and my cousin Goran, and a guy called Ned.
Ned's a good man.
Ned's a champion. I love Ned like a brother. My mum and dad love Ned like a brother too. They're like their son.
If you love him, I love him too. How are you, Ned? Hope you're having a lovely time.
Hello, Ned. He's a champion.
Hope he's having a good time.
He taught me how to box. Because I used to box with him, throw punches. Ned taught me how to box. I never sparred, but it's the pads with Ned. Ned's a champion. But my brother, I love my brother and Goran, my cousin Goran, heaps.
And Danny, I mean, 10 years of your life at being a lawyer, law school. I mean, all great experiences, you know. It
was very
good. Experience. No need to go back. I mean, life moves on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Michael, but one thing I say, I didn't go, most lawyers go to private schools. I didn't go to private school, I went to public school.
Me too.
And I just passed HSC, I got into arts.
Yeah.
From arts, I did law. I got good marks, I got into law that way.
See, because you were such a good lawyer there, because there was a passion there, you know?
There was. I wanted to be a lawyer for ages.
There was a passion. If there's a passion there and people go the extra mile, they always become so good at their jobs, don't they? It's quite amazing, isn't it? I mean, you see a lot of the richer kids, you know, who just flow along and get everything given to them.
Their parents have got money.
Same old story,
They live off their parents' money. My parents worked in factories all their life.
Yeah.
Work hard like dogs in factories.
And they must be so proud of their
they're very proud.
Young fella.
They're very proud. And they're also proud of my brother too, Tony.
Dan, congratulations, mate,
Thank you,
of rebuilding your life.
Thank you, Michael. I
wish you all the best. You're welcome to come into any of the courts, and good luck with everything. Take good care, and ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for the pleasure of your company. Have a great week, and I hope that you get through those tough times. If you've got an interesting story to share, feel free to email me, and would love to hear from you very soon. Love and best wishes. Good night.